Hello and welcome to the Dude Talks for another video, and today's video is special because it is my first ever attempt at a podcast, and this would start my new series of podcasts. And provided this episode is a success, I would make some more podcasts in the coming days. In today's podcast, we'll talk about the biggest scam in India. The word scam is not new to the stock market industry. The share market has been a wish-granting factory to a lot of people trying their hand in the industry. It witnesses stories of success, failures, and of course, of bankruptcy. Sometimes, people go beyond the rules and regulations to manipulate the market in order to achieve fame. The recent Sony Live web series Scam 1992 has brought to light the scam that brought the Bombay Stock Exchange to its knees and prompted the restructuring of the entire Indian share market. Harshad Mehta had scammed the entire nation of 4,000 crore Indian rupees. But guess what? That's not the biggest scam in Indian history. The actual person responsible behind the biggest stock market scam in India was a man named Ketan Parekh. Ketan Parekh was born in 1963 to an affluent upper middle class family of chartered accountants and stockbrokers. His father Vinay Chandra N. Parekh introduced him to the ever-changing world of stock market. After becoming a CA, Parekh started his career at a well-reputed institutional brokerage firm called Narbhiram Harakchand Securities, or NH Securities. And you know what? 2001 would not be the first time he was involved in a scam. In the early 90s, he came in contact with Harshad Mehta and subsequently joined Mehta's firm Grow More Investments, a firm that Mehta had set up. There, he learned various techniques from Harshad Mehta, which he would go on to use a few years later. Although Parekh slipped through the cracks after Harshad Mehta's scam, his role in the 1992 scam came under scrutiny when his own scam came to light in 2001. Subsequently, he was convicted in 2008 for siphoning 48 crore rupees from a unit of Canara Bank in 1992 and was sentenced to 1 year imprisonment. The Ketan Parekh scam. After learning various tips and tricks from Harshad Mehta, it was time for him to implement them. Parekh majorly traded in the Calcutta Stock Exchange, taking advantage of the lack of regulations. His business practices were unconventional, just like his mentor. But unlike Mr. Mehta, he did not use public money to rig the stock prices. Promoters of various companies provided Ketan with the capital to rig their stock prices. Reportedly, he also made the use of his contacts at Global Trust Bank and Madhavpur Mercantile Cooperative Bank to access funds and illegally jack up the prices of various stocks. He used to build up huge volumes through online trading and rig the prices without anyone noticing. And how would he do that? Through two techniques of circular trading and pump and dump. In circular trading, he would ask his traders to buy and sell shares of a company within them. Because of this, the trade volume of the share would increase, attracting those investors who invested on the basis of magnitude of trade. Now, more the number of active traders, the higher the price of the stock would go. So whenever he sold the shares, he would definitely earn some profit. In the pump and dump method, he would buy the majority stocks of certain IT companies, because of which its shares used to increase a lot, and many investors would start buying the stocks of the company, and as the price increased a lot, Ketan would dump these shares, earning hefty profits in the process. Ketan once manipulated the stocks of VisualSoft, and the share price of the company skyrocketed from Rs 625 to Rs 8,448 per share. He did the same thing with Zee Telefilms, and the share price escalated from Rs 30 to Rs 720 per share. To round off the profit, Mr. Parekh used financial institutions like the UTI to dump the inflated stocks. In return, Ketan was rumored to take heavy kickbacks in the form of equity from such companies. He came to be known as the Pentafour Bull and the one-man army for his aggressive style of investments. At the peak of his reign over the stock market, Ketan had a pick of his 10 favorite stocks, which included Zee Telefilms, HFCL, Silverline, Satyam Computers, Avtech Infosys, DSQ Software, Ranbaxy, Pentamedia Graphics, Sonata Software, and VisualSoft. This set of 10 stocks was euphemistically referred to as Ketan stocks by other stockbrokers. Ketan, being an astute investor, was well aware of the IT boom of the late 90s, so he heavily invested in software and other tech-related companies. Although Ketan attained a flamboyant image after he threw a grand-scale party in 2000 known as the Millennium Bash, he was a shy and soft-spoken stockbroker who kept a low profile, lived a simple life, and maintained his distance from media interactions. This made it hard for people to believe his involvement in the scam. The exposure of a scam. In the late 90s, the world economy was going through a tough time. The excessive conjecture by the internet-based trading companies led to a massive market crash in 2001, often called as the dot-com bubble. Parekh was also caught in the technological bubble along with the rest of the world. On 1st March 2001, 2 days after the union budget was passed, the Bombay Stock Exchange Sensex plunged 176 points, which provoked the then NDA government to set up an inquiry into the market crash. Being the key player in the stock market, Parekh's transactions were under heavy scrutiny. RBI found his pay orders suspicious, which he had given as collateral for bank loans. An investigation began against Mr. Parekh. At the same time, a payment crisis was triggered by a Kolkata-based beer cartel who dumped their shares of Ketan stocks. Ketan Parekh and other brokers who were holding shares in his name dumped a huge chunk of his Ketan's shares after regular trading hours at the Calcutta Stock Exchange. This led to the Sensex tanking by another 149 points. The aftermath. The scam caused a massive erosion of wealth, leading to Ketan and his followers into bankruptcy. According to a report by SFIO, the scam was estimated between 30,000 and 40,000 crore rupees. The CBI arrested Ketan on 30th March 2001, charging him with defrauding the Bank of India of rupees 137 crores, and they kept him in custody for 53 days. The scam led to SEBI fixing the loopholes in the system. The trading cycle of 1 week was reduced to 1 day. Operators were banned from carrying forward the traders. The control of brokers over various stock exchanges was diminished. Trial and sentence. A joint parliamentary committee of 30 members was set up to investigate the role of Ketan Parekh in the financial scam of 2001. The committee found Mr. Parekh guilty of circular trading. Another report by the Intelligence Bureau implied Ketan Parekh's involvement in rigging the share prices of Diwan Housing Finance, Goenka Diamond, Orchid Chemical, IVRCL, GMR Infra, Pantaloon Retail, TBZ IPO, KS Oils, etc. Subsequently, Ketan was banned from stock trading till 2017 for illegally manipulating the stock market. It is reported by the Economic Times that Ketan was sentenced to 2 years of imprisonment for cheating by a special CBI court in March 2014. In 2018, a fast-track court sentenced him to 3 years of imprisonment for violating the SEBI Act. Later, the Bombay High Court suspended his sentence and granted him bail. This is how the biggest stock market fraud in India came into light and rocked the entire nation. If you dream to become an investor or stock market broker, then I suggest that you pick the right path and take guidance from people like Warren Buffett and Radhakrishnan Damani. Sometimes people choose the shortcuts in life to gain fame easily. But remember, there is no ladder to success. You'll have to follow each and every step of hard work and dedication. Well, that's it for today's episode, and I hope you liked my first ever podcast. If you liked this video, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Do mention in the comments how you felt about my podcast and how I could improve, or mention about the topics that I could cover in my future videos. Until the next time we meet, it's me signing off. Bye bye, take care, cheers.